Are there any ministerial statements? I call the Honourable the Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, this weekend marks another key step towards rebuilding Queensland's international tourism market after the pandemic. From Sunday, the world's third largest carrier, United Airlines, will add Queensland to its global network. For the first time, flying direct from San Francisco to Brisbane 3 times a week. The first new trans-Pacific route by a US airline since the pandemic began. And it's not just any carrier. United has more than 100 million loyalty members and is the largest and longest-serving US airline in the Australian market. Before the pandemic, in 2019, 236,000 Americans came here each year, our third biggest market, spending over $419 million. Mr Speaker, the flights from San Francisco are expected to bring 40,000 Americans a year, bringing $27 million a year in economic benefits and supporting hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs. A massive boost to our tourism industry, just one example of how we're helping operators that were hard hit by COVID. It's all part of our government's landmark $200 million Attracting Aviation Investment Fund to give our airports the certainty to fast-track direct international flights, because our government recognises how critical they are to Queensland's ongoing tourism and economic recovery. More direct flights means more visitor spending, a stronger economy, more air freight capacity to export and more good, secure jobs for Queenslanders. Mr Speaker, the Attracting Aviation comes on top of $66.4 million in this year's state budget to support the tourism sector's recovery and over $1.1 billion in assistance during the pandemic. Proof that our government will always back our tourism operators and airlines to restore and grow the industry. Mr Speaker, I also look forward to joining the Minister for Tourism and the Deputy Premier next week to attend the annual Destination Q on the Gold Coast to meet and speak directly with stakeholders. I will be attending an investor breakfast with key tourism infrastructure investors and government decision-makers to support tangible investment outcomes and encourage further investment. Then I'll be attending the official opening, including more than 900 key tourism stakeholders from across the state at the Gold Coast Convention and Exhibition Centre to discuss our journey to the 2032 Olympics and Paralympic Games and how we can work together to build on Queensland's amazing strengths. And the Assistant Minister will be there as well. Mr Speaker, it is still hard to fathom that in total 6 million Jewish people died during the Holocaust. 1.5 million of them were children. But it's so incredibly important we continue to tell the stories of the past so that history is never forgotten and history does not repeat itself. That is why, Mr Speaker, our government is helping to fund Queensland's first Holocaust Museum. We committed $3.5 million, and today I can announce that a site has been chosen. Mr Speaker, in a partnership between the Queensland Holocaust Museum and the Education Centre and the Catholic Archdiocese of Brisbane, the centre will be located in Brisbane's Cathedral Precinct at the Old Archives Building and Penola Place in Charlotte and Edward Streets. It will honour the legacy of those who faced awful atrocities and will also feature locally recorded stories and will be able to reach the regions through online and mobile exhibits. It will ensure future generations never forget. Mr Speaker, this is a significant milestone in the state's cultural history. And today I will be meeting with members of the Jewish community and Holocaust survivors and descendants of survivors, to who this museum means so much, and I honour their presence in the chamber today. Among them, Dr Bert Klug, a 100-year-old Holocaust survivor, and his son Ian. Survivor Susie Smead. Rabbi Nia Gururich from the Gold Coast Hebrew Congregation. Esther Friedlander, the daughter of Holocaust survivors John and Ida Lipsky. Susie Burkett, the daughter of Holocaust survivor Zelig Burkett, along with his granddaughters Shanae Buckley and Jessie Smythe. And Rocky Miller, daughter of Holocaust survivor Leah Leibowitz. I want to thank the Chair of the Queensland Holocaust Museum and the Education Centre, Jason Steinberg, for his passion and hard work to make this project a reality, the Catholic Archdiocese of Brisbane for the site, and the Federal Government and Council for their funding contributions also. Mr Speaker, this is an important new landmark for Queensland and is expected to open to the public early next year. And I also note your attendance this morning as well, Mr Speaker, and thank you for your time. Mr Speaker, our government is also committed to addressing the housing challenges facing our state, issues not just here but around the country. Since coming to office in 2015, our government has built over 4,000 social homes, almost 1.5 social homes per day. We held the Queensland Housing Summit last week, and under our Housing and Homelessness Action Plan, we've boosted current investment with a further $1 billion put towards social and affordable housing, taking the total investment to almost $4 billion. This means by 2027 we will have commenced more than 13,000 social and affordable homes, the largest concentrated investment in social and affordable housing in Queensland's history. This week we also welcomed the federal budget's National Housing Accord to deliver 1 million new homes over 5 years from 2024, including 10,000 extra affordable homes, 2,000 here in Queensland. Mr Speaker, today I want to announce another housing initiative from ideas echoed at our Housing Summit. Today we will introduce legislation to enable the expansion of the not-for-profit Homes for Homes initiative established by the Big Issue magazine into Queensland. Homes for Homes already exists in other states and would mean Queenslanders buying or selling their own home will be able to voluntarily participate, only if they wish, into a charitable scheme that will help increase the supply of social and affordable housing. The Housing Minister will go into more detail soon, but essentially it would enable sellers to donate tax-free 0.1% of the sale price of their property or land at the time of sale for a good social cause. Across the country, Homes for Homes has already granted $1.28 million to 13 social and affordable housing projects, providing housing for 96 people. Mr Speaker, this is just another way we can help ease pressures on the challenges facing our housing system. And finally, Mr Speaker, each year around Queensland Day we add more names to a prestigious list of Queenslanders who have helped shape our state. And we do that through our Queensland Greats Awards. A Queensland Great can be an individual or an institution. They can come from all walks of life across communities and industries. And they're also recommended for their outstanding achievements and service. And they're united by a significant contribution to our state and the Queensland way of life. Mr Speaker, since the first Queensland Greats Awards back in 2001, we've honoured 123 individuals and 18 institutions. Previous recipients include the likes of Professor Ian Fraser, Alan Border, Margaret Olley, Uncle Albert Holt and Karen Walsh, just to name a few. Recent Queensland Greats advocated for better health for our First Nations people, made landmark scientific contributions to wildlife protection, impressed the world with local Indigenous art and curated our state's scientific and cultural history. Their contributions to health and research, science and technologies, the arts and education have provided pathways for disadvantaged communities and pioneered life-changing developments. These awards are an amazing platform to not only honour extraordinary Queenslanders but to share their incredible stories and work. Now we're once again calling upon Queenslanders to help select the next inspiring group of Queensland greats, and I encourage everybody in this House to think about who in their community has contributed and put their name forward, Mr Speaker. These nominations are now open for 2023. So if you know a Queenslander worthy of great status, it's time to jump online and submit a nomination. Remember, each and every honour begins with a nomination, and yours could be the one to cement a Queensland's legacy, their place in history. I invite all members to submit a nomination by Friday, the 17th of February 2023, and I look forward to meeting our next new greats on Queensland Day next year.
I call the Deputy Premier.
Mr Speaker, I'm pleased to announce today that the Palaszczuk government has signed an